Jim Jones was responsible for the largest mass murder-suicide event in history. The cult leader convinced over 900 people to kill themselves via cyanide poisoning, before he allegedly shot himself. Jim Jones was a cult leader who led the largest mass murder-suicide event in history. Credit, Corbis, GettyWho was cult leader Jim Jones. James Jim Jones was born on May 13, 1931, in Crete, Indiana. Jones grew up during the Great Depression, and his family was incredibly poor at the time. During his childhood and teenage years, Jones developed a fascination with various public figures, both good and evil. He reportedly studied the stories of Joseph Stalin, Karl Marx, Mao Zedong, Mahatma Gandhi, and Adolf Hitler. According to childhood acquaintances, Jones was a weird kid who had trouble making friends. He also was obsessed with religion and death, and even allegedly was caught killing small animals. After graduating high school, Jones worked as an orderly at Reid Hospital. It was there that he met his wife, Marceline Baldwin, who was a nurse at the time. Jones and his wife adopted several children of different ethnicities, referring to themselves as the Rainbow Family. They had a child of their own in 1959, Stephan Gandhi. In 1955, Jones founded the People's Temple in Indiana. He began leading healing circles, and people believed him to have supernatural abilities. People's Temple was known for their racial integration, at a time when segregation was the norm. Because of this, Jones stood out as a revolutionary of his time. In the 1960s, Jones convinced his congregation that a nuclear attack was inevitable, and California was the safest place to be. He and over 70 of his followers and family members moved to Redwood Valley. The People's Temple soon expanded to both Los Angeles and San Francisco. After moving to San Francisco, Jones became a prominent figure amongst political leaders. People's Temple was even credited with helping George Moscone become mayor in 1975.